I had pictures for football that day.
Lil Eddie went to get his hair cut.
We stayed right across the street from like a shopping plaza. I could just walk across the street.
An area in which I begged and pleaded with my brother not to go back to.
I remember my dad, he gave me the money, got my hair cut. Then as I'm coming back home, I seen one of my dad's closest friends like running towards me and his hand was bleeding or whatever. Then he's like, somebody got your dad tied up and they robbing him.
Eddie was born in North Las Vegas Hospital. At the time, his mom was incarcerated.
My dad was in prison or whatever.
I picked him up from the hospital, but that was already the plan that his parents had put into place. So I got the call.
You know, she did the best she could. Obviously, when my brother came home, Eddie was his first order of business, and he got him back with him, and it was beautiful to see. He raised him right. He directed him and he guided him right, regardless as to what else was going on. He made sure he stayed on track.
And he put me in track, and I was playing football right away.
I think I met Eddie in like '06. I ran into his father. He knew about the program we were building. Said that he was a really good player. And we brought him out. And from the first day, man, one of the best kids I've ever coached. Right out here, man, he's won like 4 or 5 championships right on this field. And just kept going.
I excelled in football pretty fast. I don't know like how or from what. Like I was always a good tackler. My dad was like pushing me as well, but it was just like more of a reward behind it. Every time I mess up, like I give him $1. Anytime I get it right, he'd give me back money.
It was a father and son bond right there, and it was awesome to see.
Once he committed his life to like staying out of jail and stuff, he did. He was a good dad in my eyes.
But back then, we only have probably like 3 fathers active. Ed was one, and like I say, he was trying to do right, by his boy and then trying to bring him up the right way. He was doing the best he can do, and he was doing a great job, and it was just sad to see, it all come to an end like that.
Somebody got your dad tied up and they robbing him.
I think the first officer that arrived, he started bringing out the yellow tape. I was like, whoa. And at the same moment, Eddie come running across the parking lot.
The fire department wasn't able to gain entry into the house because it was an older house. And with that kind of security gate, they couldn't get in. And here's little Eddie walking through the crowd. I didn't even see him. He walked up to the fire people and said, will this help? And he gave them his door key in order to get in the house.
The officer asked me who I was. I told him I was his coach. We had practice. So I just put Eddie in the car. I still didn't know what was going on at the moment. And we just took off, to get away from what was going on. I kind of had some ideas, That ride to practice, man, looking in the rearview mirror at the kid, he was back there, man, tears, and he was confused. He didn't know what was going on, He was scared, and I was scared for him.
We grew up out of the crack era. We come from the crack era. So basically, it was a situation where he was selling crack. Once Lil Eddie was born, once he got out of jail, he never used crack no more. So, but he was hustling.
He was in his home, let people in that he was acquainted with.
And they jumped him, roughed him up, blunt force trauma. They was gonna try to rob him. My brother wasn't gonna give him it. He wasn't gonna give him whatever they was asking for. He could have probably just gave it to him and been alive, but that's not how we built.
And they killed him. And they tried to burn the house down in order to cover up evidence, but it didn't work. It didn't work.
If I would have just walked straight home, I probably would have walked into it or something. And I think about that sometimes. It's the way God handles things, and everything happens for a reason, so I feel like that's the reason.
I'm sure he had some morning days, but no, we wasn't gonna let him sit in the corner and just, sulk in it, we kept loving him, man. Let's keep playing. Let's just, your dad watching you, man. Let's go have this game for your dad today. Let's go keep doing it. Let's just keep going.
Uncle Kyle and Marissa was there for him through everything. Like, they was at the graduations, at every game, making a way, just making sure that he was happy as much as they can. So I know they probably couldn't get him everything, but he didn't know that probably. Like, they made a way for him. And still, like, he looked up to them.
The chain has been broken. chain was broken when he got his scholarship. The chain was broken when he entered into college. The chain was broken when he graduated.
The injuries in college, just the ascent that he had, you know, being a partial scholarship guy to a full scholarship guy to an All-American, it wasn't easy, and it didn't come easy at any stage. And the greatest compliment I can give him is he's very resilient and he's done things the right way.
Even though you come from like a poverty neighborhood or hood with a lot of violence, like you can make it out. Like you don't have to just be stuck in it and do what everybody else doing and going down the wrong path. Like you can make it out. Like now you got the kids down the street like, oh, I want to be like Eddie. Like go to college, go be great, go let everybody all come together and watch you play.
That's what breaking the chains is to me, like just changing that name for ourselves, starting a new generation of another lifestyle.
I believe by faith, God has not brought him this far to not fulfill whatever Eddie's heart's desires are and whatever my prayers have been for him. You know, I live like that, and I'm gonna keep on pushing it. I'm gonna keep on pushing that through my mind, putting it in the universe, and you know, and instilling whatever I can in him to keep him encouraged.
I know he definitely making his dad proud. I don't even know if he know he's making his dad proud, but if we proud of him, his dad for sure proud of him.